Why Khalid for this particular record? You don't think he's a beautiful person?
No, I mean, a couple of reasons. His voice is so crisp and warm and soulful, but in a very weird way. He's got runs that aren't soul runs. He's got runs that are more folk music. Like he's a soul singer who sings like a folk artist. He sings in a very unique way. But that song for me is warmth. It just feels cozy, and that sounds weird to say his voice is cozy as well. But that was like my initial thing. He's definitely the same as me. He doesn't really strike me as someone who's glitz and glam.
Well, how unhappy were you living in LA?
Miserable. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. Yeah. I mean, now like I like going to LA because I go in for like 3 days and I see people I love, and then I'm gone. But it's the same everywhere. Like I was miserable when I lived in New York as well, because I just have to be home. It's like there's a book that I read called His Dark Materials, and it's about parallel worlds. And there's this guy that has a knife that can cut into other worlds, and his dad discovered the worlds before him, and his dad ended up dying because he was away from his world for so long, and it drained him being in this other world. And for me, it's that. Like being in not just England, but being in Suffolk just keeps even on tour, I'll like come back here and I'll feel revitalized, and just I'm not American. I don't belong in America. Just like you living here, you'd probably get sad at some point and be like, I need to go back to Carolina, or I need to go back to Jersey.
I'd get fat as hell living here. Between all the beer and the fish and chips, I'd be fat as fuck. Was there ever a moment where you felt like you were about to conform and become one of the beautiful people?
I definitely did though. I definitely did for like,
really?
Yeah, for like 6 months. That was it. I was in. And I was hanging out with fucking people that were on Disney shows once upon a time, and we were like, hanging out in backyards. Every day I'd meet someone new and it'd be like, oh, this is so-and-so who was on this movie, and then so-and-so who did this song, and just, I don't know, you kind of get sucked up in that world, and there's always a different event to go to. You go to One Oak, or you go to fucking, Bootsy Bellows, and there's always something on, and it's just that every single day, and I just felt myself getting a bit drained from it.
Why is it hard for people to be themselves in the industry? And does the industry allow that?
Yes, it does, yeah. But you have to have success being yourself. So it's quite easy for me to be myself, because I've been every step of the way. Every time I've been myself, I've had success in it. But I think it's hard when you've had a lot of success musically, maybe doing something that you didn't believe in 100%. Sometimes the success that you find isn't actually you being yourself. But also I think it's the fake it till you make it attitude of, if you let people think you're successful, then you will eventually become successful. But you have to really put that on.
Yeah.
I just think being yourself is so powerful, and I feel like a beautiful person, but without sounding weird about it. But because of it, I have now a confidence in myself, because of being myself, all of these great things have happened. So now I can walk into an award show dressed however I want and be super confident about it, because it's like I've done what I set out to achieve without compromising.
Imagine like when you were standing next to Beyonce on stage, performing perfect. Right. Great moment in Johannesburg. If you're paying attention to what you should actually be paying attention to, which is just the talent, you're like, damn, that was a great duet. But then you go look online and everybody's clowning you because of how you looked standing next to her, what you were wearing.
Well, I know, but I think the main argument was just men and women's standards being held. The main thing was just like, look at this, he's allowed to wear that and she's allowed to wear that. When really what they should have been saying is like, they've both made a choice to do this. Like, Beyonce can wear whatever the hell she wants, and I can wear whatever the hell I want, and that is because we've worked to be where we are to be able to do that. I quite liked that. I found that quite funny, because it was ridiculous. You look at it and you're like, yeah, actually that's pretty weird. And like the skate company that I was wearing the t-shirt off were like really excited about it, because it was on every single blog in the world, and they were having people buy the t-shirt. They wanted to send one to Beyonce, but I was like, I don't know if she'd want that. I always say this to kids that I meet a lot of kids and their dads are going through a tough time at school, and I'm like, although it's like super tough now, that's the best thing that can happen for you. If you fit in, you're just boring. You're just one of many people. If you're like, there was this one kid the other day, and she was like proper out there, proper quirky. And I was like, you're going to be such an interesting adult, and you're going to do such an interesting job, because you're allowed to be artistic, and don't let anyone fucking dim your light. Like, you should always shine as bright as that. But it's about instilling confidence in people. And I think me having success, I can say to her, look, I was really weird and I've managed to have success. So if you just carry on doing you're going to have the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, why fit in when you're born to stand out? Like, that's why I feel like all of us have our very own unique DNA that can't be duplicated
There's there's no one in the world that can do what you do.
Absolutely.
But there is someone in the world that's going to try, and they're going to fail because they should be doing what they do best.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the next song is "I Don't Want Your Money" with H.E.R.